Good afternoon from Bali, everyone. It's Hanifa Medin from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I thought I would bring us back to a bit of karma discussion, and this is because our karma does benefit from learning about Shakti powers, which I've just been speaking about in the last several videos, and I want to make sure that you know how to apply this to shape your destiny. So today I thought I'd talk about karma from a few different quotations that I came across that matched this mind's thinking and help you to shape your lives from here. So this first image that I came across, it doesn't have a particular author, but it does have two aspects of karma that it talks about that I wanted to share with you to begin this video. So the first one, karma, fear-based karma. You reap what you sow. Karma is the consequences, both good and bad, that are brought to you based on your actions, good and bad. You are judged for your actions. Now, this is an impartial judge of the universe, this karmic consequence. And this is, again, you can do good actions and receive bad results, we'll say, because it might not be what you had in mind of, oh, if I do this, I'll get this. If I do that, I'll get that. Or this person will like me, or this person will approve of me, or this will look good on me, or whatever it is. Whichever way it is based on your action. But it depends on your own thoughts, your words, and actions in alignment. So let's say I really thought through, I really think this would be good. And then I speak about it, I think this is going to be good, and then I do it, and I did it, which felt good that I did it because I followed through on what I said I was going to do, but the result is not what this mind would have wanted, and this will happen for all of us in all sorts of different experiences, but it's not fear-based karma. So this fear-based karma means that you reap what you sow. Well, you know what? You did something, you got not a good result. You know how many people told you not to do that something, or not to think that something, not to say that something, not to speak to that person, not to hang around that person, not to behave in this way. Whichever thing we think of this fear-based, it comes from this side. The other side is love-based, which you know I would love. So it says, karma is a gift that brings you lessons for your soul's personal growth, and will continue to bring these lessons back around until you have learned them. And you think, oh no, boy, I just thought I got through that lesson, and it wasn't easy, and I really thought I got through it, and here I am in exactly the same spot, and what have I learned? And thanks a lot for the learning. I hear so many people talking like this, and it's so interesting because it really is a blessing. Imagine the child who falls, who's helped to stand back up, who learns to try again. And we learn this, we hear about this as adults, but as adults, we become very fixed. I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing everything right, and it has to work out this way. Now that whole has to work out is linked with the ego. When we think about karma, whatever action, whatever thought I think, whatever words I speak, whatever actions I take, when I feel good about them, it doesn't matter what the resulting karma is. It's just I feel good in this moment, and this is why present moment awareness is so useful. So I thought I'd bring that aspect to your awareness, because as we grow up, we start thinking that I know just the right recipe for this, and I do it, and it turns into something else. Well, that was unexpected. And this is, again, Shakti power allows us the flexibility and the adaptability to what happens in life. And this is a strength, which, again, so many in the world are not practicing regularly and really appreciating. So when we appreciate karma, that, wow, I got an opportunity to stand up from whatever, stand up for what I believe in terms of my thoughts, stand up in terms of what I speak about, or stand up in terms of the actions I take. It's fantastic. And it feels good just to do that. Just that feels good. So then, of course, you know that, or many of you know that I work with grief recovery, and so I'm working with grief quite regularly with lots of clients and friends and people I might just meet in casual experiences too. And all of us have gone through, are going through some sort of grief, which is just a sense of loss. And this training that I have loved going through myself, and I'm so loving helping other people learn from it, really does match Vedic wisdom too. It does match spiritual wisdom of all sorts, and of course I'm in Bali, and so love to speak about the Vedas here, but anywhere in the world, if you look at spiritual thinking, it's definitely the same ideas. So, in terms of grief, it's actually an emotion that many people have learned that, wow, you actually move farther ahead from going through an experience of grief. Now, this quotation I thought was quite useful too for you to reflect on exactly what I'm thinking about today's video. It says, karma says, if you focus on hurt, you will continue to suffer. If you focus on the lesson, you will continue to grow. If you focus on the hurt, you will continue to suffer. So I speak to some people who have raised children or are in the process of raising children, and when the children were quite young, they might not have had as much time with them as they might have wanted, or they might have been going through some not easy experience themselves, and then now they're seeing their children grow up to whatever ages. They could be quite young or they could be teenagers, and the parents will say to me, I don't know, I think, when they were really young, this happened. I think this is what's affected them, and this is what they're showing right now. And it is quite possible. Now, the fact that a person thinks about this and worries about this, it's concerned about this, might feel guilty about this, creates suffering. So this awareness of this moment is now, that moment was then, this was past, which is not happening now. So this moment now, if I keep thinking about that past, I continue to suffer exactly as I might have in that time of raising that child. Thinking, oh, I so wish I had more time with the child, but I've just got no energy, I've got no time, no extra help, no money, whatever it is. People go through this. You go through an experience, and this can also be in working with someone who's very ill. So I see this in people who have also worked through caregiving for someone who is close to passing away, and they think about that. So sometimes it's only once a year when it's the birth date or the date of the passing, so the passing away date. When it's a year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, oftentimes on that same day, I will see clients going through the exact same suffering, that, oh, this happened, and it's so unfortunate that it happened, and why did it happen, and this is what I did, and this is what they felt, and all of these things, exactly like the time that they were going through, even if it's 20 years ago, sometimes it's 40 years ago, that people are talking about, oh, this happened, and it always makes me feel like this, because it is what they went through, and look at it, so much suffering. And guess who's suffering right now? Even as a person, as remembering a suffering of another, they are allowing themselves to suffer. Some people have felt that some training for the brain has been that unless you're suffering, you haven't felt what they had, and you haven't been empathic about it, then you're not really caring, you're not a loving family member. Now I bring us back to karma. Karma. Again, you know that in the soul evolution, where I've been talking about the Shakti powers of empowering our soul, you understand that with karma, oftentimes the experiences that we're having, I'll say all the time, are a result of our past actions. Our past actions have brought in our current experience. And whether we think of this current life, or whether we think about a past life, or many past lives, or this has happened, and now when we look at it and we're grieving that, oh, this person passed away, did I do enough? You were probably thinking the same things at that time. Have I done enough? Have I asked the right questions? Have I gone to the right doctors? Have I taken enough time? Have I been there enough for this family member? This happens for people raising kids now, family members to each other now, siblings, parents to children, and children to parents too. Where it's so much about, oh, last year I know I did this, and I'm really sorry I put you through that. And the parent will be like, yeah, well, it was not so easy, but we got through it, and just don't do that again. And so the same emotion is happening in this moment as would have happened at that time, that, you better not do this, and oh boy, you're doing this. And so if we can understand that this present moment is our most powerful moment, we can understand that if we focus on hurt, we continue to suffer. Second part of this quotation, it says, if you focus on the lesson, you continue to grow. The lesson, wow, I wasn't completely focused on what I was doing at that time because I had been juggling too many things. Are you juggling too many things right now? I never really focused on myself. You know what? I always put myself last. Everyone else gets taken care of first. Are you focusing on yourself now? This is so important. This is the lesson that, oh, from that time, how was I then and how am I now? And then we come back to soul energy. If we understand this idea of I am not my body, I am not my mind, I am the soul, when we understand this, souls communicate with each other. So as a living soul, if you've lost someone in your life, you gave them the energy of love and compassion and strength to try to help them through not such easy time. And they passed away. Perhaps you didn't help them, by the way. I'm going to say most people that I've met have really helped their loved ones. And then they passed away. And then we send this, what? Love for a blissful journey on the other side. We send the soul love. And why is it only for a certain length of days that we send the soul love? But we might be crying, we might be lamenting, we might be saying, oh, why did this happen to you? Why did this happen to me? I want you back. All of those things we might be saying, you'll know what you're doing. Now, every time you put out a not so positive energy, you're still feeding that soul that energy. So let's say even if you're in a hospital room and caregiving for someone, you give them all the strength, all the positivity. I think you're going to make it through, and we're going to make you stronger. And I know that the hospital here is in great hands, that you're in great hands. I know you've got strength in your own body. You're giving all of that positive energy. You leave the room and you start crying or upset, and I don't know if they'll make it. That energy just undoes all the positive energy you're putting through. So remember, we're just thinking in terms of how much energy are you putting into, I know you're going to make it through, even in your own time, and how much energy is in that, I don't know if you'll make it through, and oh boy, you're suffering. Oh boy, that looks like it's so not easy. Oh, it is not easy. Oh, I wonder what I would feel like if I was there. None of that. Honestly, if you can watch your thoughts right now of, I know you're going to make it through this. I know that this is a spiritual journey for you. When a person passes away, feel the same. I know you're on your journey. I know you're in an amazing, great place. Every energy that goes from me to you is strengthening your journey of where you are now, because you are the soul and you're speaking to another soul. Do not look for your visual eyes. Do not look for their living body. Do not look for an experience that hasn't happened right now. If it was an experience that you were upset about 5 years ago because you're thinking about how you raised your child, you're bringing it forward now. And how do you think about it now? How do you think now? Today is the day to think about how you think. So there is one more quotation that I want to, two more quotations actually, but one of them is by Edgar Casey, and it's a lovely quotation, which I hope you've heard about, but here it is. Destiny or karma depends upon what the soul has done about what it has become aware of. Destiny or karma, again, the karma I do is my action now that creates my destiny in the future. The experience that's coming to me right now is my karma experience now from my past. Okay, depends upon what the soul has done about what it has become aware of. When I become aware of this, am I not much more mindful about what I do now because it affects my destiny of tomorrow? Not only mine though, whoever I'm thinking about, however I'm thinking about them, it will affect living and not living because we're talking to souls, we're communicating with souls. And if you understand this, you will be very mindful. And remembering that it always goes through your own body, your soul energy is going through your own body, affecting you first, and then whoever you're thinking about, whoever you are around, whoever you're going to visit, whoever is on your mind or in your journey that you might even run into unexpectedly. So finally, I thought I'd end on this quote because it's by Khalil Gibran, and he's a wonderful writer, and I definitely feel that this is a very important detail, a good takeaway from this video. There are those who give with joy, and that joy is their reward. There are those that give with joy, and that joy is their reward. And if you think about this, if you're caregiving, caregive with joy. If you are looking at your family member who's going through something not so easy, talk to them with joy. When you are looking at any life experience that you're going through, consider it with joy. Think of this as an opportunity to heal your own self with love. This is the love-based karma that I'm encouraging us to all think about today in this video. I wish you a fabulous day. I hope that you fill it with joy in whichever way brings you the most joy, and in the way that's not limited to this moment, but is an energy that stays with you. Because when you do something truly joyful from your heart and soul, it is fabulous. And this is what I wish for all of us. I wish you a fabulous day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Bye-bye, everyone.